This doesn't happen to me very often, but I'm shocked. This motorcycle costs 2.23 lakh ex-showroom, and that's for the first 10,000 customers. After that, it's 2.33 lakh ex-showroom, and that's still an unbelievable price for the Triumph Speed 400. Now, we already know everything there is to know about the bike. It looks like a Triumph Speed 900. It's a scaled down version. We've seen the images. It's very high quality. Today, we're going to give you a quick walk around. We will be riding the bike tomorrow, but our reviews are embargoed till the 14th. So you're going to have to wait till then to find out what this bike is like to ride. Until then, come let's have a look. Bajaj tells us that everything on this bike is new, including its 400cc liquid-cooled engine. This is a DOHC 4-valve liquid-cooled motor. It produces 40 horsepower and 37.5 Nm of torque. That's about 3.5 to 4 horsepower less than the KTM. The torque figure is about 0.5 Nm more than the KTM 390, but the RPMs are lower. The peak power comes in about 1,000 odd RPM lower, and so does the torque. How that feels on the road, we need to find out. Gearbox is a 6-speed unit. It has a slip and assist clutch. Overall, the Speed 400 is not a very large motorcycle. If you want a bigger feeling bike, you might want to wait for the Scrambler 400X. That bike will come out in October. This one, deliveries will begin within a month or so. Riding position, very roadster, nice and comfortable. It doesn't feel small, it doesn't feel large. Seat height is comfortable, just under 800 mm. So again, riders of most shapes and sizes should find this bike easy to manage. And that's also down to its curb weight, which is just 170 kilos. Now, since we're talking about this engine, let's hear what it sounds like. That is a pretty familiar sound. It does sound a lot like the KTMs and the Dominar, but again, Bajaj tells us this is a different engine, and they'll give us more details that we will share in our full review. For now though, I'd love to give you a closer look at the small details that make this a special feeling bike. The lighting is all LED. The details are very nice. The indicators, those are familiar units. You'll see something that looks very similar on the KTMs. Over on this side, that exhaust, very nicely finished, a lot nicer than the Harley Davidson that we rode a couple of days ago. And then it comes down to the smaller details. Look at the quality of these bolts, the fasteners, the badges out here. It's really very nicely put together. And for a bike that costs this little, that's quite shocking. For reference, this motorcycle at its introductory price is cheaper than a Dominar 400. And on top of that, it has a pretty decent feature set as well. The lighting, like I mentioned, is all LED, slip assist clutch, and it even has traction control. There's dual channel ABS as standard as well. The instrument console is fairly simple. It's not a TFT. There's a big speedometer, small rev counter in there, and a little bit of details in here. Switch gear is also all new. Again, like everything else on this bike, the quality seems quite nice, and it has bar end mirrors. Overall, this bike has the makings of being a game changer. It's priced really close to the Royal Enfields. It has a whole lot more to offer. Bajaj and Triumph will be selling this bike out of a dedicated set of showrooms. They'll be opening about 100 or so of them across the country in the next year's time. So that's where you'll be able to buy the bike. I'm really impressed, and I can't wait to see what this thing is like to ride. If you really like the look of the Speed 400 and its lovely tempting price, but you want something a little bigger, you're going to want to wait for the Scrambler 400X. This is the bigger version of that motorcycle, and the main thing is the seat height. 835 mm versus 795, so it's definitely taller. Larger riders, taller riders will prefer this. Again, I am 6'1". I'm able to comfortably flat foot this motorcycle, and the suspension will collapse slightly. Speaking of suspension, it has longer travel suspension. We'll put the figures down there. It's a little longer than the Speed 400. Overall, it is a slightly larger bike. It has a more commanding sense. There are certain things like these handguards, the different mirrors that give it more stance and purpose. Speaking of stance, it has a larger 19-inch front wheel. These are cast alloy. Some people may say, oh, I wish it had spoked wheels, but spoked wheels come with tube tires, and that is a pain to live with if you get a puncture. Cast wheels can be really tough. They are tough on the 390 Adventure, and they can do well here as well. This will probably be a nice all-road, rough road motorcycle that can do everything in its path. We don't have a price for it yet. It will be out in October, but given the fact that the Speed 400 costs just 2.33 lakhs, 2.5, 2.6. Let us know what you think in the comment section below.